EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Houston Texans. Marr now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Set. 19. Let's go, baby. They turn on. Get that ball. Get that ball. Kill.
On the ground, this is Lamar Miller. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. From the gun, here's Watson. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, he was just trying to contain DeAndre Hopkins, and he got a little too close.
And because of his ability to line up in different spots on the field and come at you from different angles, different guys have to cover him, and all of them have the same issue. How do you do it without interfering? In this case, it didn't get done.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Watson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They're going for it. It's Watson. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Malik Collins and Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a carry for the big fellow. This is Jameis Olawale. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. To throw is Prescott. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
After the made field goal, Marr back out there to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Cowboys have recovered.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it. I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about any more.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Prescott. They'll let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Cooper was the intended target. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. They come up here now, 1st down. They're going to be stopped up on this 1st down run. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. He shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice. Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. Here's Austin. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, Charles, while we have a moment, you know what we need to do here is give a nod to the new Hall of Famers who were brought into Canton and inducted on August the 3rd. Champ Bailey, Pat Bolin, Gil Brandt, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law, Kevin Mawai, Ed Reed, and Johnny Robinson, all part of the class.
Fantastic class. When you talk about guys who played at a top level, obviously they're Hall of Famers. But what I found interesting about it is you've got a great pass catcher, the best pass-catching tight end in history, in Tony Gonzalez. How would he like to work against this secondary? Champ Bailey and Ty Law at corner, Ed Reed and Johnny Robinson at safety. Good luck trying to get open against those four. What a matchup that would have been. But it was a terrific night for those gentlemen. Congratulations. And, of course, Ed Reed's bust will go down in history because they got the hair exactly right, and Ed had a ball up there in his Hall of Fame speech.
And remember, next year they're going to celebrate the centennial year of the NFL with a special class of 20. So get ready for those speeches.
I wonder if they'll do it like Johnny Robinson this year, who actually submitted a video instead of going up to the podium. And his speech was about 5 minutes long, which is probably about the right length.
They are going for it. Here's Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Whitney Merciless barreling in for the sack. They'll run with Elliott.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Here we go, 47. 41's coming. 41's the mic. Let's go. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it. Check. 26.
On third down, Elliott. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Marr able to put this one through. And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It's certainly...
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Malik Collins picks up his second sack of the afternoon. The final shot before the break, Watson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
From the 27, Prescott being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. Third and short yardage. Prescott. He's got his target. It's Cobb. Randall Cobb on the breakaway. Touchdown, Cowboys. Randall Cobb, 68 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2.
We're going to 52. My 55, my 55. I'm going to run you over. We're going 46. Run you over. Go. 55. 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Cowboys. There he goes, right side. And this is going to be brought back for a fumble return touchdown by the Cowboys. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear it. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. From just shy of midfield, Watson. He's going to look deep end zone for Hopkins. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Johnson on the counter. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. A first down run not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there, so that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 30. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson dancing to his left. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's 2nd down and 10.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
And no time now.
Throwing again is Watson. Out to his left. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Watson on 3rd down. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller there to make the grab. And the Texans get a bit closer. Well, he wasn't the guy they were initially going for, but after going through the progressions, it worked.
When you have plenty of people who can catch the football, you don't always have to go to your primary target, and sometimes that target is actually covered. Nice job coming off of that and getting it to someone who is open.
And the man out of the backfield gets in for the score. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Go, go, go.
At the 19-yard line.
Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Let's go, D. Big series right here.
On third down, it's Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side. It got his man complete. It's a big play there on third down. 41 yards. A first down throw for Prescott. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It's certainly... And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Justin Reed. And he will take it out to the 25-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up caught.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Houston. Hopkins, 75 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. Whoa! He just yanked that one well to the left, and no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
41's the mic. 41's the mic. Check 41.
Prescott down. Forced out to his left. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. DJ Reader picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3. Hey, switch gears, switch gears. There we go, kill. There we go.
From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left. Prescott from the gun. And that will be incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. The Cowboys will go. Prescott. And no, it's incomplete. Jason Garrett might be wanting to reconsider the decision to go for it there. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. On 1st down, it's Watson. And an alley to run. run. And he slides to avoid the hit. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
Watch the screen. Hey, 24.
Looking to throw again on second down. Watson, flush to his right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. The Texans on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Elliott. Oh, that's just not fair. And now room to run. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 68 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. 23 yards, the final tally. Out of the gun, Watson steps away to his left. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Throwing again on second down. Watson flushed out right. And I think the ball's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. Look at the big man rumble. 20. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing to, having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ballgame. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Prescott to throw it. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't. because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gon' be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off. Each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. 10K on the countertop. Don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down. Hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. And plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. And I don't need you to okay it. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gon' want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They can't take it to 10.
Hey.
Honey, I dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, 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 yeah. They can't catch up cause they lacking the stamina. Way too advanced to be playing with amateurs. Stay on attack when they tackle like damager. They react and play it back on the camera. Hot boy, just consider me flammable. Sure shot, I got all the intangibles. Need a leash, I'm a beast, I'm an animal. Heat the competition up like a Hannibal. Know the game like I wrote up the manual. I do weekly what you do on the annual. MVP, that decision unanimous. Big jobs, I don't think they can handle it. Battlefield, it's just me and my warriors. Guaranteed we emerge victorious. Years, blood, sweat, tears, it's glorious. I remember when they always ignoring us. Dash, got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, they will not stop me. Tenfold, copy, end zone, watch me celebrate. I'm cocky, I do my dance, jump in the stands. No man, man, oh deal with the hands. Thought he could guard me, I ruin they plans. I do what I want, they do what they can. Got it on smash, foot on the gas. I will not crash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash, honey, y'all dash.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL is in Houston, in the Space City at NRG Stadium. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Check 56. Check 31. Check 31.
On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the others, you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
That one 28 yards on the ground. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
56. I'm trying to collect.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
19. Check 56. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a 1st down or more, and down to the 16-yard line. quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Chris Jones on the stop. On second down, Johnson. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. An 8-yard touchdown run. And the Texans take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Quite the drive there to get things started. They took up the bulk of the first quarter, and they end up in the end zone.
And I love your last point. Ended up in the end zone. Because a lot of teams like those long drives, especially to keep their offense off the field, right? Keep the ball away from them. But they finished it with a touchdown. That's the exclamation point. Now, flip it over defensively. They've got to slow that down somehow, right? Maybe they need to be a little more aggressive. Maybe a few more pressure. Towards the quarterback.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. On second down, Hyde. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Mahomes going to throw. Escape. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field.
Let's go deep tight. Let's go deep tight now.
Here we go. 4th down, Mahomes. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And last time we saw them go for it in kind of an unusual situation. It's not like it's a fourth quarter do or die. They went for it, didn't get it. We'll see how that affects them this go-around.
Partner, I'm wondering if we're starting to see the effects of analytics coming into play here, where people are studying the number of possessions, how many times you should go for it, what position it leaves your team in. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that creeping into the NFL game.
Yeah, I think we've seen it in other sports, maybe into the NFL now as well. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They do go for it. It's Mahomes. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Mecole Hardman, the intended target.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in the half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Running from the gun, Johnson. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Morris Claiborne, the former #1 pick of the Cowboys there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. The sack there by J.J. Watt.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pick up there, 26 yards. A 1st down carry for Smith. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. On 2nd and 12, Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 58 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 13-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
Throwing on second down. Mahomes eluding the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. J.J. Watt able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. On the move to his left. And that will be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And that is going to be incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And this Texans defense stands tall. Well, Charles, if you think so far the early part of the preseason, who has stood out? If you take a peek back at the draft, the first round, it was pretty defensively minded. But there were 3 quarterbacks taken. Kyler Murray first, Daniel Jones 6th, Dwayne Haskins 15th. Of those guys, they've looked pretty good.
I agree with you, Brandon. When you talk about those 3 quarterbacks, and you're right, the rest of the draft, we're talking about big linemen, right? We're talking about defensive players, not a lot of skilled players in the first round. But let's take the quarterbacks very quickly. Kyler Murray, by acclamation.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Frank Clark fighting his way home to get the sack. Well, it was 2nd and long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader able to put an end to that play, and in so doing puts an end to this 3rd quarter. Back now in Houston, it's the Chiefs with a football, but with work to do on the scoreboard. They trail as we start quarter number 4. On 3rd and long, it's Mahomes. And this is caught. That's Watkins. Well, that's how you convert on 3rd down with an explosive gain of 34.
That could very well be a defining play in this game. A touchdown, that gives them the lead, and they took a major step towards getting there with that big play right there.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. DJ Reader picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Mahomes to throw. Flush to his right. His throw incomplete. Mecole Hardman the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
His struggles finding open receivers continue. I don't know the last time I saw him this inconsistent throwing the football.
It would be hard to find a date when he was this inconsistent. You know, in his locker, he keeps the word poise printed on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. He needs to find that poise, right? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now here's Mahomes. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. DJ Reader. And the Texans take over an excellent field position.
Set. 19. Right there. 56. Down to lose 1. Check 21.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Now it's Watson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Frank Clark able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans.
Hey, you got to snap it.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Flushed out right. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. Well, that's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. He's picked off at his own 47, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. On 1st down, Ferguson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And some space here. There goes Duke Johnson. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans push further out in front.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a two-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone's...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Here's a 20th carry for Johnson. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll run it with Johnson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Here we go with Johnson. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. 30, 10, and he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Duke Johnson, 61 yards. And the Texans push further out in front. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to.
He's got a man, complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. After the sack on 1st down, Mahomes, now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. The Chiefs on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 16. Now Mahomes, escaping the pressure right. He's going to let it fly. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he's going to go down as time has now run out on this game. So Houston going to come away here with the victory.